Do we have some questions, Katie?
Yeah, but I think we have some brave souls with their hands raised that definitely need to take the stage first.
Okay, amazing. Let's go, Evan. Evan was the first one who had his hands up. So,
What's up, everyone?
what's up, Evan?
My name's Evan. I was driving home and I listened to it, and I know you were talking about who doesn't show their face, and I wanted to show my face so bad.
Yeah.
I was driving in the car. I literally downloaded the Zoom app. I was gonna pull it up while I was driving, but I was like, you know what? I'll just wait till I get back.
Awesome.
So yeah, a little bit of background. I owned a marketing company for the last 5 months, scaled it pretty well, but honestly,
Nice.
I just got sick of it, just got burnt out. But I learned so many skills like sales funnels, etc. So one day I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw, I think your video or somebody else's, but yours was like the second video I saw. And I was like, you know what? This is my way out of marketing. I want to do this. So I literally started this like 9 days ago, and I have 14 bookings already, but I can't handle them. I don't know how to hire cleaners. I've had cleaners go out. I've had some really crazy instances already happen to me. I don't know how to hire good cleaners. I just don't know. I've spent like $500 on Indeed, trying to get applicants. Everybody, like what I noticed, like the difference is like when I used to hire in marketing, like people were passionate about the work. I've not found one person passionate about this. And like, I know it's hard to be passionate to do hard labor. But like, I just don't know how to hire, and I've had so many problems already, and I just can't handle it. So I need advice on how the hell am I supposed to hire good, reliable cleaners? And another note, obviously you need training. My thing is, I don't know how to clean my own room. I can't clean a house, so I can't train them. I can't train them to everything. So the system I've been running on right now is I have like five or six contractors that I've just been sending to random houses. And overall, I've only had 2 problems. One of them was really bad. She didn't even vacuum the floor. She brought like a toy vacuum. Like, it was awful. I went actually myself to the house. I walked to the house. I was so embarrassed. I gave the woman her money back and had someone else come and re-clean the whole thing. And she actually booked with me for next month because of that. So, but yeah, I just don't know how to hire. I need help finding good, reliable people. And I'm paying good. I don't know what to do with that. So any guidance?
First off, Evan, like this is definitely Katie's wheelhouse. I'll let her, like she's the master. But one thing I want to say is like, dude, props to you for taking action and doing something, and like you've got yourself in to a pickle, which is amazing. Like this is actually how you learn, is you put yourself in a situation and you figure it out. And I can just tell by how you have been talking that like you have belief in yourself and you have faith. And I think there's something really that's like a soft skill to have. And props to you for that, first and foremost, right? And you will figure it out. And all your problems you have, they have solutions, and they have really clear ways to have those problems solved. So that's the first piece of it. Second piece of it is that, to anyone on here, is that a surprise that he's having trouble hiring cleaners? Right? Anyone who owns a cleaning business knows that is a challenge. So like the fact that you're having that challenge, Evan, it makes you more normal than if you say, I found amazing cleaners, right? So again, just I think sometimes perspective is just like, yes, like it is normal for you to have a having trouble finding good, reliable cleaners. Okay. Second piece, before I let Kay take this over, is how many people have you hired before this?
Probably I hired one W-2 employee, and then I have hired like 5 or 6 contractors and a couple of VAs.
Cool. And when you're saying contractors, are you specifically talking about the cleaning business, or was this for your marketing?
No, I've been doing the cleaning business. This is like my 9th day today.
Yeah, but I mean, the people you've hired so far, have they been subcontractors or have they been?
Oh, you're talking about, okay. Actually, I was talking about my marketing stuff, but for cleaning, I think I have 5 people.
And are they subcontractors or are they W-2?
No, all subcontractors.
Okay, yeah. So that's one issue, is that when you hire subcontractors, like you're not going to be able to control the work. Can you go faster with that way? Of course you can, right? And so there's obviously 2 models out there, that you can do subcontractors and you can do W-2 employees. We teach the W-2 way just because you have more control over it. And when you know what you're doing, you have less of the problems that you're talking about right there, right? So again, Katie will get into more specific, more strategy, but just always understand that you've hired less than 10 people, right? Should you be an expert at hiring people after 10 people?
Mm-mm.
Cool. right? So it does make you normal to not be as good as you think you should be, or to, for lack of a better word, suck at it.
Mhm.
It's totally fair, right? Do you think you'll get better at it as you do it more, or will you get worse at it as you do it more?
Better.
Cool. So what should you do?
Keep trying. Well,
Hire more.
that I
Hire
know,
more.
the one thing I know that for a fact is where I'm failing in this process is I actually watched one of your videos from your free masterclass. I don't remember if it was there, I saw it or somewhere else. But the one thing I do know is in order to have a cleaner do it the right way, or your process, right, you need to have someone teach that. The problem is I don't have somebody to teach that to them. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I know I watched the videos, you said Katie
Yeah.
trained cleaners. I don't have that part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
so I
great.
think
Step in here.
go for it, Katie. Yeah. No, you're
So
good.
there's this you need to watch my presentation because this is exactly what happened to us. We had 6 technicians walk out on us because I hired for experience first. In a situation where you do not have anybody on your team who has experience, nor do you have experience, the problem that you need to solve right now is finding somebody with experience. The second problem that you need to solve is finding somebody with experience, with integrity, that you can be honest and direct with. I've never done this before. Are you willing to take a risk on me and I take a risk on you and we do this together? And sell them on the vision of what you see. And they'll either jump at it and be like, heck yeah, let's do this. Like I can help you. Or they'll be like, no, this isn't my game. One thing that's really important when looking for somebody with experience, it's not just somebody with experience with a pulse. It is somebody with experience who has shared values that you have. So I would define the important values that it takes in order to serve your client. Values is a very broad category, but like, what do you need from your employee in order to serve your client? You need them to show up and you need them to take ownership if they don't do a good job. Those are like the 2 that are the most important, that will impact your clients the most. So in your interview process, you're not even going to talk to anybody who doesn't have cleaning experience because you can't teach them how to clean. So everybody, like your box is really tight right now because they have to have experience first. And then the second 2 is like, tell me your track record. How long have you worked at a place? How many times did you call out? What was your work ethic like? And dig deep, because the first time they're not going to be honest with you. You need to dig deep. You need to ask prying questions and you need to get to the bottom of what their intentions are.
Do you plan on hiring W-2 employees, or you want to stick with 1099?
So I know that W-2 is the way to go, big time. But my only fear with hiring W-2 employees is I didn't know that I was going to be able to blow up this fast and like be busy.
Yeah.
So my fear from the beginning was not being able to give them the work.
Yeah.
So see, like personally me, I understand the value of like, if somebody wants stability, you know, they want hours, that's why a lot of people leave cleaning companies because they don't have the stability. I found out. So I definitely want to hire W-2 employees. I'm okay with like the risk. I understand insurance, all that stuff. But my problem is just not being able to give them the work.
So either way you go, like again, I share with you how I do it. But here's this perspective I'll give for you. Whether you do W-2, whether you do 1099, the same thing needs to happen. You need to confront the situation at hand. Katie said it. I will say it more direct. You need to have the conversation. You need to tell somebody the exact same situation. Dude, I'm 9 days into this. I have so many freaking leads. I need somebody who's got experience. I can blow this thing up. I need somebody to help me. I need somebody who can take this right here and grow with me. Right now, I'm not expecting you to be my partner. I'm not expecting you for a handout. I'm just saying that I have hot leads. I have people who want their home cleaned. They already gave me money. I need someone to fulfill it that I can trust, and I can continue to give them business over and over again. Can you do that for me? That's the conversation. With that type of energy, with that conviction, they're like, how many of you guys are on here? If someone brought that to you, would be like, I'll help this get out. Like, I'll take those clients, right?
Hell yeah.
And if you do an employee, it's the same conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just literally saying, hey, it's like I'm brand new to this. Like I'm looking for somebody who can like grow with me, right? Like my biggest fear is that I can't keep your schedule full, but like I have 14 clients in 9 days. Like I'll continue to go. So I have a marketing background. I know how to generate leads. I know how to clean. So can you clean? Cool. Can you help me build this team. Like, I think this can be $1 million company. Like, I have this guy who I met. He grew $1 million company. He did it in 2.5 years. Like, do you want to be part of that? All of a sudden, you start to enroll someone in your vision, right? And that's more than any sort of dollar amount.
Yeah,
People
makes
want
sense.
opportunity. Like they need to be fed, but people will buy into a vision. They'll enroll into that, and they will do things, right? And so, either way, it's the same conversation, whichever way you go with it.
All right, man. Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. That was definitely great insight. Thanks.
Cool.
It's great.
Congrats, dude. That's awesome. I love those stories.
Just for some
Okay.
some extra icing on the cake, Nicole just commented that's exactly how she got her first 2 girls to start with her, and now they're full time and they've been with her for 3 months.
Yeah.
So keep hustling. It's great.
So good, dude. All right. Daniela had her hand up next. What's up, Daniela?
Hey. So I have sort of a general question about small business.
Go for it.
I'll do the question and then I'll give you a little bit of background. So do you feel that this level of growth and sort of building yourself out of your business is more easily possible with non-technical businesses? And I ask you this because I just came into 3rd generation ownership of a family flooring company that actually, after 3 years of killing myself over it, I'm walking away from, because I like found my vision. I found my funnels. I grew the business 40% in a year in 2022, and I died over it. And it was because I couldn't build myself out of it, because the more I built a new division in which we were catering to general contractors on large commercial construction projects in the city. And my work just became more and more technical. And I needed my guys to be more and more technically proficient. They didn't want to be technically proficient. They wanted to do things the old way. And I couldn't find a way to safely build myself out of the business, because if I started handing these tasks like bidding, estimating, running work to people that weren't as familiar, I had this huge risk of, oh my God, what if this project fails and I'm in the hole for 200 grand, and that sinks me. So I was engaging. I was able to grow sales very quickly because it was me. It was my face. It was my vision. It was my energy. But I wasn't able to sustain running that work. And I felt like the best case scenario was I just can't grow this business the way I want to grow it, because it's been the way it's been for 40 years. And I just can't figure out how to change this. And it's so hard to walk away from something like that. But at the end of the day, if you don't start it, it's really, really hard after decades to switch course in a sustainable way. So I'm into buying small businesses. I'm into starting small businesses. I love this conversation, but I'm really, really curious about your opinion on that. Is it like non-technical businesses that you can grow yourself out of, where, your cleaner isn't going to sink the business or whatever it is,
I have an opinion on that, and I have it, and I actually can play both sides of it, right? And so I'll play the first side of it first, which is I'll play the side of it that kind of like moves with the conversation, that I think that the answer that you're looking for, and then I'll give you the devil's advocate side. Okay. So the reason that we started this cleaning business is actually very similar to what is actually the exact reason that you're talking about, is because we built this intentionally, that we were not going to operate it. We were not going to be the ones who clean. We're not going to be the ones who were going to be in the day-to-day, right? And so earlier when I talked about Katie doing the operator, like how many hours do you say you actually spend specifically on the cleaning business a week?
5, 7.
Oh my God.
And that's like with the team though, like those are the key players, but the key players are the ones who are doing the do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? It's still work, right? It's still attention, because there's things outside of like the actual, like, so we still work on business. We still talk about business all the time. We're still like actively, like, our attention is on it, but we're just not having to do things, right?
I don't do any tasks at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like for instance, Katie was in Italy in June when the business did $100,000. Like she was in Italy for 2 weeks, or was that May? I can't remember. It was either May or June.
Yeah.
That was June. Okay, cool. And so like the business doesn't need us to operate and to move, right? Now it needs our attention and our growth and our pouring into people to grow. But like if we want to take a week off or 2 weeks or whatever, like the business continues to go. Okay. That's how we built this business, specifically because It was simple. It was delegatable. And that was one of the reasons that we started a cleaning business specifically, even though we had zero experience in the cleaning industry, right? It checked all the boxes. So I think that kind of filled into, like, if you're looking to start a business, I actually have like a podcast and video I did on like the 5 standards of like why I pick a business and why the cleaning business like checked all those boxes off. So if you have not seen my podcast, it's like the Everything Goes My Way podcast, or you go to my YouTube, for example, and you'll see the 5 business standards. I literally just like kind of walk through what those 5 business standards are. But the cleaning business, it checks the boxes, right?
Right.
Because it's not technical. You're 100% right. Like you don't need a degree, you don't need you don't need a license, and it's an entry level position. And so at that point, if you're just able to manage people, then you're able to grow a business. So that's that piece of it. The second piece is, let me ask you this question specifically for your flooring business. Like, is there, to your knowledge, a business that's in the same industry as you are, that the owner has scaled out of it, that he's grown a $10 million plus flooring business, where he's not the one who's doing the bidding and he's not doing all the work? Like, is that something has been done in that business before?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm in a weird niche in San Francisco, but yeah, absolutely. But you're taking so much out of your revenue to hire those technical people that all of a sudden you go from a very profitable business model to running maybe even negative, right? Depending on what you're doing. The operators that Katie, the folks that your main team are those VAs, like, how much are you paying those people? I feel like that it makes a huge difference as you're scaling yourself out of your business. Like, okay, what's it going to take to scale myself out of this business? How much do these people need to make this worth it for them, to operate with integrity and show up and have a work ethic and all that?
Yeah. So the problem is not actually scaling. It's just like there's not enough revenue to support a person who would be paid to be able to be that position.
Okay.
Is that right? Like,
yeah, no,
it can be done.
Yeah.
There just isn't enough revenue. There's not enough profit, to be left over that you can pay someone who's competent enough to do that job.
Right.
Right. So if we
one
understand
person is also not going to replace you.
Right.
Totally fair. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's just realized for everybody on here is that, like, you guys on here are more valuable than you think you are, and not one person can replace you. Like, it might take 5 people to replace you, in all fairness. And so that's why it also takes time. It takes time. But in that specific standpoint, again, I want to make sure that we touch the other side of it too, is that, okay, so the way the current business model is set up, that there wasn't enough room to pay that person. So then if we understand that's the problem, then we can focus on solving that problem. So, like, how do we generate more profit with that person, right? How does that person become an asset rather than somebody who actually cuts into our profits? And like, that's beyond the scope of this Q&A, but I do want to put it in perspective that all problems can be solved when we know what exactly what the problem is. And so we were talking about symptoms before, the symptom of can't scaling, but the real problem is that we're not generating enough profit to pay somebody to get yourself out of that position, that the business still makes enough sense for you to be able to run it, and like with all the risk that's still involved in it.
Right.
And again, can it be done? Like, yes, right? Somebody else has done it. So then at that point, it's like going to that specific person, and maybe you got to pay money, maybe you got to mentor, maybe you got to, whatever it is. It's like somebody else has done it, then I got to, like, if it's possible, then, and it's my goal, then I'll figure it out. Right. So that's like what I consider the devil's advocate to your question, right? But is it easier to just find a business that already checks the boxes? And again, like, you didn't start this business, it's a family business. And so that's where I have like, when I started my fitness business, I didn't do it because I was looking for a business. I did it out of passion. I did it because it was like, I had a skill set in training. I was like, it makes sense, right? Would I start a fitness business today, knowing what I know now?
Maybe not.
Absolutely not. Not even, like, I wouldn't. 0%.
I think that's where I'm at, is sort of realizing the skill set that I've been able to gain. Like, I know I can operate a business. I know I can scale a business. I know I can make serious revenue. Yeah. I just don't want to do it in that business.
And that's all. That's awesome. Like, that's awesome, right? Even if it can be done, doesn't mean that you should do it.
Exactly.
What you enjoy doing. I love this thing business. I love it. From 6 weeks in, I was like, Katie, like, I think this thing can be $1 million business. And we were doing $2,500 and we were in Texas and our business is in Montana. I was like, I think we can do this. Right.
That's awesome.
And she thought it was crazy. And I felt the momentum going, right? Because there's a certain, like, when you actually check some of the boxes off and you align them with your skill sets, what you like doing, like what we like doing, we just like naturally do, and it doesn't feel like work. And ultimately, that's all this whole thing is like being in the game long enough in order for us to learn the skill sets, to be able to gain the character traits, to change the beliefs that we are worth having $1 million, $2 million, $10 million business. And also piecing together that we're in the right vehicle, right? A vehicle that it moves with us rather than maybe we're fighting it the entire time, which sounds very similar to like how I felt in the fitness business, how you're sounding like you in the form business, that you just felt like resistance. Like you're tough, you're hard worker. I can tell by how you talk, like you can pull your own, right? But eventually you're just like, man, I feel like I need some behind my back rather than me just like going against the wind the whole time. And that's kind of what I
when
feel
you're
for
the
me.
Trojan horse every day, it's like,
Yeah.
with the 2 toddlers, you're like, come on, this is not sustainable.
Yeah,
So
100%. And that's why you need someone behind your back. And that's why you pick a vehicle that gets momentum going. And which is the reason why we picked a cleaning business specifically. There's other businesses that fit a box, but it's awesome. So
well, look forward to checking out more of your content. Appreciate the time, you guys.
Yeah, get that masterclass again. Whether you do a cleaning business or you do any other business, like it's foundational, it's principles. And appreciate you for being on here today. Great to meet you,
Thank
Danielle.
you.
All right, Jose, what's up, my dude? Jose came out to Decade in a Day in AZ. We got some yum yums.
That's right. Thank you, Katie, for this Q&A. Thank you, Logan. My question is, I have my first meeting with QuickBooks tomorrow, and I haven't set up nothing. I just signed up. I've been paying for it, so I've been trying to figure out like what chart of account set up. Should I just hop on the Zoom tomorrow, or do you have any recommendations on what to set up before hopping on the Zoom with them tomorrow?
You need to connect with Jen Montoya.
I was just gonna say that. I see her
she's
down
gonna help
there.
you out.
Yeah.
She's a bookkeeper.
Got it.
Yeah, Kitty, or what's the best way? Jen? Facebook message, Katie, or text message? We'll get you guys connected.
You can, I can put my phone number in here. You can call me.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Get connected with Jen. Jen's a stud. She actually like oversees our books. I don't think she even like actually does our books, right? I don't know the situation.
I think sometimes maybe, I don't know. I think she just oversees it to make sure it's not messed up.
I do. I just oversee it because I have VAs.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I connect with Jen. She's amazing. Funny story. So some of you guys know that I was one of the very first people inside Gym Launch, which is Alex Hermosi's gym launch company. But I don't tell the story a ton. But I actually worked for Alex for 2 years, did some sales, did a daily coaching call, which is similar to this. It just was at noon every single day. And Jen worked for Gym Launch as well, and she did bookkeeping for Gym Launch. And I would report my sales out to her, so she knew I could sell. I'm like, I got 10 sales this week or whatever it was. I don't know. I was just, it was funny. I was like, Jen's like, what? Like, how many sales did you get this week? Whatever it was. It was a lot.
She's a stud.
Jen's a stud. Cool. All right. We have Jessica raise her hand. What's up, Jess?
Hey, Logan. Hey, Katie. Thank you so much for this. We actually took a nap literally an hour before this so we could see it. So anyways, I have had a question all week since I've talked to you. We had a conversation a few days ago for everybody else, and Logan said something about tracking data. So we were talking about the cleaning business, but he was like, it's really amazing when you start to track your data in your business, in this and that. And he said in marriage. And I was just like, how do you track data in marriage? And so I was like, okay, I need to ask that on the Q&A. So Logan, Katie, how do you track data in marriage?
you just got Katie all excited and see her eyes just like pop up. She's like, oh, like these are my favorite things to talk about. So I'll let Katie jump on this one. I just want to give you some love. Jessica came out to Decade in a Day, and she was on the she volunteered for the VA training a couple weeks ago. And so if you guys are inside the masterclass, you'll see her all over the place. She was on the live masterclass recording, so she was there the whole time, just an implementer. And she's actually somebody who we're doing vision meetings together right now, because obviously, I'm not obviously maybe, but like, okay, so you guys saw I did it with my company, which I have obviously a lot of control over, but I want to show that this works even for companies that I don't have control over. So I'm doing it with Jessica, I'm doing it with a couple of people, and they're going to blow their like they'll blow up their businesses, and then they can share their experiences, and they're going to get more traction going with this and showing everybody how powerful having a vision meeting can be for your company. And it's something so simple, but such a big lever. So anyway, that's my love for Jessica and Lucas, who are on here, amazing humans, and even stayed up late, and also have, what is she, a year and a half? How was your kiddo?
Yeah, she's a year and a half. Yeah.
Year and a half, right? So, okay, Kitty, take it over.
Yeah, this is a super fun one. And I think oftentimes, especially if once you guys have access to the vision sheet, if you don't have access to the vision sheet, you're going to be like, holy moly, there are so many things to track on here that it's going to be overwhelming. But if you go back to the first couple tabs of our vision sheet, we didn't track very much. We tracked what we thought needed to be tracked, and then we built on it as we started to talk about the numbers and talk about the outcomes and talk about the expectations and where we wanted to go. So I think rather than it being, this is exactly what you need to track, and these are the numbers to make a successful marriage, I think it starts with you and Lucas having a conversation about what is important in a marriage to you. What does a successful marriage look like to you? Track one thing. I don't know if Lucas is anything like Logan, but like sex is one thing that Logan has to track. How sexually active are we? If you're not sexually active and that's what your partner wants, like that's not a successful marriage.
Yeah.
I'm not like driven by sex by any means, but I want like alone time with him, uninterrupted alone time, no kids, no interruptions, just us talking. We do a lot of walk and talks because of that. And we put it on the calendar.
Okay.
We started our marriage meetings. They were really hard for me because I thought I was a good wife. I thought I was, at this time, we weren't even married yet. Were we married when we started our marriage meetings? I don't think we were. I think it was actually before we got married.
Yeah.
And I thought I was like a bomb ass girlfriend. Like I thought I was doing everything that I needed to do. And then I was told otherwise. It was like, you suck here and you need to pull your own weight here. And I would prefer this. And I was like, defeated. And I had a really hard time actually hearing any of that. So I cried a lot in the first year, probably, of us. The first 52 meetings that we had were full of tears and full of shame from me and full of honestly being a victim. But when I started to understand and realize that the intention behind the meeting was for us to be on the same page and grow together, and I had a coach telling me where my shortcomings were. Like he was saying them, putting them out on the table, like giving me the cheat sheet to what he thought a wonderful wife was. So rather than like closing the door and being like, no, I'm good as I am, I was like, okay, this is an opportunity where I can actually improve. What I think is a good wife is not what Logan actually thought was a good wife. So I think it's sometimes we like to complicate things and make sure that we're tracking everything. And Logan and I have even after our marriage meeting has done iteration after iteration after iteration after iteration, and it changes all the time. But it also changes due to the phase of life that we're in. If I'm actively in the business with him, if I'm at home with the kids, now I'm actively in the business again. So expectations also change within the relationship. So I think being open to listening to each other, it's also like fun to figure out what the heck you even think a good husband is. Because like you think you know what it is, and then you start talking about it and you're like, well, actually, I don't really care about that.
Right.
Like one thing that really peeved me when we first started dating is Logan wouldn't trim his nails super duper short. Like the weirdest thing, like what? But this meeting gave me an opportunity to be like, I prefer your nails trimmed super short, always. And
Yeah.
ever since then he has, and it doesn't bug me anymore. I don't know if that was a direct answer to your question, but
I will go on that, Katie. And before I do though, like give Katie some love, because this is like you guys are getting to see a little bit of this dynamic of like most people only see the surface, but if you guys think it's easy to live with someone like me, it's not, right? So while there's the pros of having a living in an environment of accountability and high expectation, like there's the con of it too, of like constantly feeling like I need to get better, I need to grow. And as a leader, I have honestly learned on Katie and the kids, to be completely transparent, on how to do that in a way that is empowering rather than defeating. So like that's why I have so much respect for Katie and for our kids, is because like there's a high level, it's a high expectation that is set on them. And for a long time, we've been together for almost 10 years now, that I was a terrible leader and I just had a high expectation. I didn't know how to communicate it. And so it was a lot of like cold shouldering, it was a lot of like pointing fingers. It was a lot of doing the wrong shit. And Katie and the kids, like the kids more from a, because I had to, but Katie, because she's persistent and she also is somebody who's very loyal, very faithful, that she believed in me even when I wasn't able to communicate it. That type of like those type of soft skills very well. So first off, that's my love for you, Katie. Like I just really like appreciate your growth and you're willing to stick with me on that. And I'm like we still work at it. Like we had a marriage meeting on Monday. And then we've added more meetings than just marriage. Like we had a personal development meeting yesterday, and we have another meeting tomorrow. We just keep on adding these things because we see more value. So more communication cycles, better, not less. Right. And so we started with one marriage meeting. Now we basically have 4 every single week, because we found that there's so much value in them that we have like now put different topics around each meeting that we do. And we treat our marriage like a business. Like obviously most of you guys are here in business, and you realize that consistency is what makes a business valuable. It's the same that makes a marriage valuable as well. Right. Now, do we still have fun and spontaneity? Do we still do like fun things that couples do? Yes. But our foundation is consistency. It's built around principles and core values. So the thing I think you're looking for is like a framework to start from, which again is something that I think is like, again, like this is what we did. So I'm not saying to do this. I just want to give you a framework to start with. So I will actually post the questions that we started with. This was like 2019, or actually 2018 is when we started this. So it's been 6 years. So I just posted in the chat so you guys can like have as a framework. Like how am I doing on a scale from 1 to 10? So back to the numbers. We started this out by rating ourselves, and then we started out by rating each other, and then we did a combination of both. So like there's multiple ways you can do this. We did it lots of different ways. So I'm just giving you the questions. You guys can decide if you want to like rate each other or you want to rate yourselves. We are now in the place that we just rate ourselves, because we understand that like we can't control the other person, and we realize that we influence the other person by just like showing up and doing like what we want them to do. We just do for ourselves. So that's the input I'll give you for right now. Ultimately, like you need to make it work for where you're at in your relationship. Maybe you need to call the other person out for a period of time to realize that maybe that doesn't work for you. Maybe it does. Again, like every relationship has their different styles. But those are the questions. How many of us go to 110? Are we having enough intimacy and sex? Do we spend enough quality time together? Do you feel loved and supported? What is one thing I can do to raise my score? Like it's very, very simple. Okay. And you just do it consistently. You're right. I was at an 8 this week. Why was I at an 8? Well, I felt like I could do this better, right? Because like we only had sex once, and the goal is to have it twice. So that's why it was an 8. If we did it twice, then it would be a 10. And that's always the follow-up question too, is like, what would it take for it to be a 10? Right?
Yeah.
Start with that. Start with that. Like that's like foundational. You can start with that, and then from there you can grow it as you guys face problems, like it gives you opportunity to ask different questions.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Is
Awesome,
that helpful?
Jessica. Thanks for asking.
Yes, it was very helpful. And I'll be honest, and I told Katie this already, I like creeped her entire Instagram and I found some screenshots of this kind of stuff. So we've already
nice.
started this framework and we've probably been doing
Sick.
it for 6 weeks now. And so I guess
Amazing.
that we were already tracking the data in marriage, but I didn't maybe realize that we were. So yeah.
It's kind of like we do the vision meetings. I'm like, go back and track this data. You already had it. You just weren't actually focused on it. You didn't put your attention on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Mhm.
So cool. So cool. Okay. Let's answer another question. But before we do, this is the moment that you guys have been waiting for. You guys have been on here for 70 minutes. And so I'm going to drop the link to the vision meetings. So again, this is only for you guys who are on here. So if you're watching this, haha, got to be on here live. You guys get access to this. I'm going to drop this in the chat. Make sure you guys grab this link. This is for all the vision meetings. Again, up to this point, only people who have done Decade in a Day have access to these. So make sure you save this link. Make sure you put it somewhere safe. Put it right next to your crypto wallet code or whatever it is. Because unless you come up to Decade in a Day, you won't be getting this link again. So I just dropped it in the chat. Make sure you grab it. It's in there. So, all right, Nicole. She said she doesn't want to raise her hand. Okay.
I don't know how to use Zoom that well.
You're all good. You're all good. Okay, Nicole, you're up, and then we'll get Siobhan question next. What's up,
Okay.
girl?
First, I kind of just want to give Evan another little piece of advice because I assume he's interviewing females, and how I've been explaining on my interviews to employees who are starting, I kind of say like it's as if you were a nail technician or an eyelash person. You have to build your book. So you have to, in any service industry, you have to have that expectation that you really have to start somewhere to grow. And then you give them the expectation that they'll have like a minimum amount of hours each week. I mean, you have 14 clients already, and that's amazing. And then kind of tell them that like, this is the expectation for them if they stick it out with you. It really helps females understand like, oh yeah, my eyelash girl, like sometimes she has openings and like stuff like that. It's just an easier way to communicate that. And then
That's cool.
yeah,
That's so good. That's so good.
Thank you so much. That was good.
yeah,
That's
I'm
really
like,
And then can I add one more thing to that?
yeah,
Put it back on them as well. Like in order for them to earn the recurring, they got to crush the clean.
yes,
Yeah.
So you have an opportunity to earn a recurring client. Every single person that I assign to you, build your books. This is on you. I will get them on your books at first, but you need to be the one to earn them recurring. That's so good. I'm stealing that.
and then this is probably a really simple question, but when we started back in February, I was kind of selling myself short because I think I told Logan like on our first like call, I'm like a shy person. I've never been in sales before. So it was a really like difficult thing for me to overcome selling. And now that I'm more confident and I'm definitely more confident in my business and my girls, I want to raise my prices, and I have for new clients. But how do you guys go about increasing prices for like the recurring clients who have been on the books?
Yeah. Before I answer that question, will you give a quick blurb about your story? Because I think your story is like really inspirational. And every time I check in with you, I'm just like,
I might
dang,
cry.
girl. It's so it's crazy.
Grateful.
So
I'm so grateful for Logan.
I'll answer your question, but
okay.
please share your story.
I am like extremely grateful for Logan and Katie. I was a stay-at-home mom. My fiance's in wholesaling, so that's how we met Logan through Sub2. And I wasn't really doing anything, and I've been trying to find stuff like I did Amazon FBA. It just didn't like work out for me. I've been like, it was a lot of small things that I was doing, and then we came across this like cleaning business through Logan and Katie. I started in February. I was the only cleaner. So we went from like $200 in February. Last month we hit 9,000, and this month we're on track to hit like 13,000. I had the same thing as Evan and Katie. I had really unreliable girls. I went to like a 5,000 square foot home and no one showed up with me. I was crying in the master bathroom. I was calling Carlos and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. The master bathroom was like as large as my office. But it was a really hard start with cleaners. And I think you just have to set that expectation. Once I started setting that expectation that it is a service industry, and like any service industry, you have to grow your book. We've really taken off. And like I said, I've been selling myself short. Definitely don't sell yourself short right off the gate. Like step in right where the competitors are. And now I'm finding myself at that place. Like I came in really underneath the competitors, and I could have been way higher than 9,000 last month and way more than 13,000 this month if I wasn't selling myself short.
Yeah. You should try harder for sure. Like you should try harder.
Yeah. I know.
Insane. Like everyone on here who's either just starting or maybe you've been in business for a while, like that is like in 5 months getting to $13,000 in revenue. And I guess let me ask you this before I answer your question. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. Like, what is your goal as a business? Like, do you have like a target that you want to get to? Are you like trying to like what is the problem you're trying to solve?
So obviously my goal is $1 million cleaning company, but
Okay.
you know, for this year to into next year, like I'm hoping to get between like 250 up to 500,000. Like that's my goal.
Cool.
If I like with the 13,000, obviously I'm already on track to make about 100,000 this year. But my goal really is like that, like 250 to 500, and then eventually be $1 million. But I have girls that want to work. I really love all of them and they're really good. But I just want to build their books more.
Yep.
And we're training like a new girl this week as well. So I have to build her book. And I just want to make sure that because my prices were kind of low, you know, my like, even though I was making 9,000, like after I live in New York State, so payroll taxes are insane. You know, I need to make up for that cost.
Cool. Okay, this is great. So if the goal is $1 million company, you're at 13 right now, and you continue to make momentum going, is there an actual problem with your prices right now? Like, is there a reason you're changing, or do you just believe that you know that you can charge more?
I know that I can charge more.
Cool.
Market really next year is, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So then if your attention is your most valuable thing, which is again, like something that I want to stress, because the reason that we were able to grow our business, triple it, is because of the attention. That was the main driver, right? If I were you in your situation, I would focus on selling new clients at the higher price, and I would leave the old clients alone.
Okay.
There's no reason, because
That's
if you're going to go $1 million business, let's just say in a fantasy world that you still have all of those clients in a year and a half after you hit $83,000 a month. Okay, so that's still a small percentage of people who are paying your lower rate versus everyone now is paying the full rate.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And at that point, if you want to, then you can start to move those people up. But
Okay.
the chances of them still being with you, like not all of them being with you, is low. And so even there's just a portion of them, like they will eventually fall off. And then if you get to a place where it becomes a problem, right, where the cleaner's like, you know, I don't like going over to Sally's house because we only get paid this.
Right.
Then you have a problem. Then it's time to do something about it. But at this point, like, don't cause another problem. Just put your attention on new people and you being able to sell them for the rate that you know that you should, so you can service them at a really high level.
Especially if their clientele in their books is not full.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't go make a bigger problem.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you guys
Exactly.
so much.
You
Yeah.
bet.
You're a stud.
Great question.
Amazing.
Thank you, Logan.
Amazing. And just as a side note, Jose, I know, is in New York, and so you guys should get connected. I'm not sure. Are you actually in the city, Nicole? Are you?
No. I'm
yeah.
I'm Buffalo. No.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, that's right. I remember that. So, but Jose is in the city, and so anyway, like you guys are close enough that you guys should connect. And again, like that's what this is for. Like you guys inside the Facebook group, connect everybody in here, like get together, like collaborate together. Evan was on here. Michael Hall and Evan, you guys should connect. Like you guys are in similar situations. There's a lot of you guys in here. Like you see someone who's got a similar story to you, like connect with them. Like that's the whole point of this. Like we're not all strangers. Like the goal of this is not to end as being strangers. We might start as strangers, we don't want to end as strangers. Okay. And the more that we can have a community, the more we can do these type of things. Like Katie and I truly love this. We talked about this last week. We're like, thank God we have an excuse to do Q&As. And if you guys get value from this, like we want to do these things more. Right. But the only way the momentum continues is if you guys become friends. Like if you guys just constantly show up for me and Katie, like I promise you, you will get bored. You'll get bored. maybe we're interesting for maybe a couple times, but ultimately, like, what keeps you going is that you guys have friends inside here that you guys can continue to show up and you're excited to see, and you guys can talk business or you can talk family. You can just be friends, right? Be friends with people on the internet who have someone interested in you. So we all are in entrepreneurship. Like, that's a pretty good place to start. I bet there's even more common interests if you actually just talk with somebody. So
If you go to
That's my-
Target, Jessica and Lucas will drive across the border and come shopping.
yes. Yeah.
I was
And
just telling them,
how far away are you guys from
25
Buffalo?
minutes. We go to, from Niagara
No.
Falls, it's 25 minutes. And we go
nice.
to Clifton Hill, which is in Niagara Falls, like 2 times a month because our daughter's obsessed with it. And I just told her we should meet.
Yeah,
That's
it takes
awesome.
us 20
Awesome.
minutes to get there, so we'll have to
There
see
you
you.
go. There you go. You guys would be great to connect. Jessica's she's a veteran, great advice, good human, good person to connect with as well, Nicole, as your business scales for sure. So, okay, Shavonda. Shavonda, are you there? Shavonda is here.
Yes, hi, I'm
What's going on,
Shavonda.
girl? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm just gonna probably give you a little background story real quick, and then I have questions, okay?
Go for it.
I started this cleaning business when I was 20 years old, over 20 years ago.
Nice.
So,
awesome.
and we started with post-construction cleaning. I don't know if you have, so we started with working with developers, me and my husband, and we started off like, because basically we didn't know what to do as far as making revenue for our family. And we came up with the cleaning business only
Nice.
because we decided to do like a franchise, and that didn't work. And then we just went straight on our own. Post-construction cleaning. So we did a lot of homes and subdivisions and apartment units. We started off there. So then we went to restaurants, which was a headache. I would never probably do restaurants again. And then we went off into, finally found my niche, and that was commercial cleaning.
Okay.
And so we start working with facilities, like partnering with big facilities, like who owns or had a lot of commercial cleaning contracts like Flagship. So we did a lot of partnering with other cleaning companies, like major multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar cleaning companies, and we put ourselves as vendors with them. And so that way we were able to scale faster. So I think my highest revenue month at the time, we went to $1.5 million, okay, by partnering with bigger
Nice.
facilities, okay. I have a lot of experience with this. It's like has been the way that that we've been able to provide for our families. But I've gotten kind of tired, just to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I love the business. I was able to hire people in our community to provide jobs. But since COVID, it got a little frustrating for me trying to find the right people that will go in and do the quality work that we did.
Yeah.
So we kind of scaled back. We worked with some of the COVID facilities when they built them out here in Atlanta. I got my team certified. So when they actually left the facility, we were able to get those contracts where we cleaned up behind the patients. So after that we scaled. That was pretty, I got that through the CDC, the government or whatever. So I think it was more like federal level. Then I left. I kind of scaled back because I'm still in the business. I'm behind the computer. I'm the woman who's behind the machine, right? So I
Yeah.
get the contracts, okay? I got my certification, minority owned, and all of those things, which helped my business to grow
Yeah.
by having
awesome.
those certifications. My question at this point, I'm more looking into teaching the business.
Yeah.
I never taught it. That's the thing. But it's so much ways in cleaning that you can scale. And so what I've recently done, I scaled back due to the lack of finding people, got exhausted with the interview process. I don't know how your processes are or everybody else. I tried the residential thing. I said, nope, that doesn't work for me. But the what I found helpful when I scaled back, I did mostly like floor stripping and waxing. That's where I'm at now. So we have facilities, and which is a great return on my investment because when you looking at these flooring, if you know how to strip, wax, and buff, and we charge like $1.15 in the building, like 30,000 square foot, 40,000 square foot, we've been able to land some nice contract. So I think right now, I just want to continue and get reoccurring revenue only on floor stripping and waxing. And I know that a lot of, I don't know if you guys have heard of the epoxy flooring that they do now for
Mhm.
like a lot of people they install the epoxy flooring. And when they install the epoxy flooring, depends on who they use over time, it start to look dull, very dull. So I think that is the market that I want to niche down to because we have received a lot of calls and requests on floor stripping and waxing and just, coming out and reshining them. And that's a reoccurring revenue. And when you're doing flooring, I heard somebody on here said they got exhausted with flooring. I don't know if she was installing or whatever, but I found out in my business where if you just concentrate, well, I don't know, but we concentrate on getting that nice finish.
Yeah. So Shavonda, what is the problem you're trying to solve right now? Is it that you
That's
feel
the
like you
problem I'm trying to
you're
solve. I'm trying to figure out what niche.
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I guess,
No, you're
I
good.
guess, I guess, like the niche.
Yeah.
Um, you know, like I guess I want to continue probably with the commercial scripting and waxing and
Yeah.
um
But then you have this idea of like coach, right? To teach other people what
and
you're
then I
doing.
want to
Is
coach.
that kind of where
And
you're
then I want to coach. Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I think I mean I don't know if you need just to talk through it. Sometimes that's what the best thing to do, just
Yeah,
kind of talk
that's
through it. But it sounds like you just need to niche down. Like do the thing
I
that you
think I
feel like
just
has
talked
momentum
myself
going.
into it. Yeah.
There you go.
Mhm.
Right. I think
And
based on
then
what you said,
yeah.
do that.
Okay.
And then when it comes to the coaching stuff, yeah, again, like my advice to you is to just teach what you know and
Okay.
do it for
Okay.
free. Like the reason that you're on here is because I'm just, like we do all this stuff for free and
Yeah.
like we like give away all the secrets. And then if somebody wants to actually like come to Atlanta and they want to come hang out with you and you want to like be more hands-on, then charge for that. But give away all your sauce, give away all your secrets, serve, and you'd be surprised how
Sure.
many people just were like, man, like I kind of want to hang out with you. I bet you're pretty cool in person, Shavonda, right? Like you know a lot. Like you've scaled a business to 1.5 million. Like even if I just
Yeah.
did attempted that, I think that would be cool, right? So I think that would be my advice: is share what you know. You'll enjoy it. You'll learn from it. And as far as your business is concerned, like focus on the thing that you just said that you had momentum going, which is on the stripping and
Yeah, I think,
the
yeah.
wax. Like do what
Mhm.
you like to do. Like you've been doing the business for a long time, you've been for 20 years. So like do what you want to do because ultimately, like if to continue to have the business be successful, like you need to like it, like you need to enjoy it. Otherwise, like you'll find a way to sabotage yourself. You'll find a way to like it not to work. So like do what you like doing. And that's it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I find ways to sabotage myself, especially when it comes to teaching. And
Mhm.
yeah, but it's been a very lucrative business and I'm looking forward to your mastermind. I'm always learning,
Yeah.
how to better myself in my business. So definitely looking forward to that. So thank you so much. And I did hear what you said about, the marriage piece. And I think, that's where me and my husband, we kind of collided at, with that, and I did pick up some nuggets from there because I know that, I can keep, yeah. So I gotta, we working on it, become a better business partners
Yeah.
and just, taking notes from everything that you said. I appreciate your advice tonight and
Yeah.
thanks for allowing me to come up.
I appreciate you. Honestly, great to meet you. And yeah, get inside the group. You're somebody who would be very valuable inside that group. Like been here
Yeah.
for 20 years, lots of wisdom. So get inside the
Yeah.
group. I appreciate you for being on here. And yeah,
Thank you, Logan. Okay.
great to meet you. All right, Christine, what's going on, girl?
Hey, Logan. So the first time I ever watched one of your videos, the beginning, your daughter came in the room, your 4-year-old, and you asked her, or can you go do independent play? Mom needs to focus and we're working, right?
Yeah.
My jaw hit the floor. That does not happen in my house right now, right? We have a 4-year-old, I have an 8-month-old, but my 4-year-old, very high energy. I work during the day, a full-time job still. So does my husband, and we do this nights, weekends. It's challenging to balance with the 4-year-old. 8-month-old isn't really as much of an issue right now. Lately, she's asking, like, I want to get involved, like, what's work, and asking questions about dollars. And I want to fully embrace that and involve her to the extent that we can. But we also have time that we need to just be like super focused. And sometimes that does happen on the weekends. So how do you balance all of that? How do you include your kids? When do you draw a line? When do you decide that it's appropriate? How do you guys manage all that? Because like that was the first thing I saw. And my husband got home from work that day and I was like, you have to watch this, watch. And I made him watch the video. And that's when I was like, all right, he's onto something. And then I kept watching your videos. And initially it was for that. Like, wow, they have their stuff together when it comes to balancing business and family. And then obviously I got into the cleaning stuff, but that was what intrigued me right off the bat. So I would just love your perspective on managing this with little ones.
Yeah, I'll let Kate take that question. And again, I will just reiterate that this is where I give a lot of praise and a lot of love for Katie. She's the one who operates the business. We have real estate that she also operates, and then she is like, her role is the kids as well, right? That is her responsibility 100%. Yeah, just she continues to grow. Like the only reason that the kids are able to, the only reason that the kids are the way they are is because Katie continues to like raise her standards for herself, which ultimately elevates the standards that the kids have for themselves as well, right? But Katie, if you want to get a little bit more strategic, that'd be amazing.
That's exactly how I was going to start, is you be a leader.
Yeah.
Don't say things, do things. Kids, I mean, they listen with one ear shut, but they watch you all day long. So what are you doing during the day? Because they will mimic it. We have a 13-year-old as well, and she acts just like me, and it's super frustrating. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And then, I get frustrated and I go ask Logan, like, why does she do this? And he's like, well, why are you frustrated about it? You have the same problem. I'm like, okay. So, tactically, I think one thing that has really, really helped me just recently, is scheduling a day or half of a day to be alone. Putting it on the schedule, because that is my release. That is the way that I like decompress and come back together so I can serve my family at 100% again for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, for that matter. If I don't have that alone time, I'm like frazzled, and my family ends up getting the short end of the stick, which is totally not fair. If anything gets the short end of the stick, it should not be me or my husband or my kids. It should be anything else in life, but not them. They should be the priority always. So that's one like tactical thing that I have done is schedule alone time. But that's for me, because that's how I recharge. That's how I fix my own problems, is I just sit with myself, right? And I don't have any distractions.
And there's a second piece of that. So, and this is, I think this is the piece, Christine, that like will help you make that thing that you saw make more sense. Is that so? Katie schedules that time, right? But then the kids know, because she sets the expectation that mom is going to be alone for this time, and you need to do independent play, or you need to go read your book, or like whatever it is that they know what they need to do, is like that's that time set for that. So there's an expectation. So like what you saw happen, it wasn't like a reaction. Right? There was an expectation set. She came in, as kids do, and they test, and I just continue to set the expectation again. My expectation is that they're going to test me. I might have to say it 100 times, but I'll continue to say it, and they will just continue to test. And so it's your job as a leader to expect it, and then just to say the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. So like what you saw right there was one time of me saying, hey, it's independent time, but that's like 10 times a day, right? I should say it used to be 10 times a day. Now, like she just knows, like now she just does it, right? Because like she finally heard. After the 100th time, she finally heard, now it's independent play.
Well, and some days are even better than others. Like
Totally. Yeah.
Some days
It's
are
not like,
testing
okay,
days.
now we're good, but it always comes back around. And it's like, oh, it's been a while since I've tested mom and dad. Let me just go test them again, right? And then mom and dad are like, damn, got this again. It's very similar to business. It's like you think that things are going good, and all of a sudden an employee messes up or something happens. You're like, I thought I was out of this. It's like, it's a condition. It's a condition of being a parent.
I don't know if she's 4. I'm sure she's around that age. She looked like she was
Yeah,
about.
she is 4. Yeah, she just turned 4.
Does she ask you questions, and do you include her in some type of way, like in your business activities, or do you draw a line and you're like, no, you're a kid, we're going to keep you in this lane, or do you expose them to the business at all?
As much as possible.
Yeah.
And again, we've 2018, Katie, was when you quit your job, right? So you had a job in 2018. You know, I've honestly never had a real job. Being a personal trainer, I guess you could call that a real job, but I've always been an entrepreneur. But Katie was definitely had a W-2, and I convinced her to leave her job to come work with me, right? Come get paid $0, take all this risk, and quit your job. She was an office manager at a dentist's office, and I don't know how much money you made at the time. I think we thought it was good. I don't know how much money you made, Katie. How much
I think it was like 50,000.
Yeah, so it was good. That was like 2018. That's before inflation, right? So, but this is the vision that I sold Katie on. Is the freedom, right? Is the freedom that, yes, it's more risky, but like you get to be home with the kids. We get to have the kids because at that time we didn't have Wayne. We just had Kobe. And it's like you can be home with the kids. We get to create our schedule. We can live where we want to live. Like so, this is all things that we've been planning from a long time, right? Like it happened now, but like it was planned back here. And our whole goal was that we had our kids around us more than they were around, you know, in daycares or other people, or even teachers, for that example. Like we homeschool our kids, right? And we just believe that our kids would be better off in an entrepreneur environment, meeting people like Christine, rather than, you know, hanging out with teachers at school and hanging out with, you know, whatever, right? Totally different subject, but intentional that we have our kids around us all the time, and we want them to be part of this, want them to be exposed to business, whether they go in business or not, it's totally up to them. But we basically but we definitely, like, our environment at home is very similar to our business. It's a culture of accountability, it's a culture of responsibility, and we have core values for our family. And we, like, I don't even see our family and business as separate. Just like we're just like running our life, like we were just doing life. And we just had a conversation with our oldest daughter yesterday of like, I shared with my vision of her, like, because guess what? She's frustrated because there's a high standard for her in the house. She wants to run away because there's things she has to do that most kids her age doesn't do. So she looks around and she's frustrated because her friends don't have to like do the things that she has to do. Her friends, you know, don't have the same responsibilities. And she's still a kid. She's 13 years old. And so I'm like, you no longer have this ability to get something for nothing. Like, babies get that. But as you get older, like, if you want something, there is something that you must give in order to get it. Right. To have the freedom you want, there must be discipline on the front end of it. And so she's like battling this, right? But I shared with her, my vision is that she attains the skill sets, that she's independent, she's self-sufficient, and she has the choice, the freedom to do what she wants, when she wants, with who she wants to do it, right? And my vision is that we're basically grooming her to be part of our empire, be part of what we're building. Now, if she doesn't want to, that's really cool. We will be fine without her, but my preference is that she joins us in some manner eventually down the line, right? And that's how I see our youngest one as well. It's like we're grooming her, right? So
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know if that
awesome.
helps.
Yes, it does. Thank you both so much.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, Christine, for hopping on here. And I didn't catch, like, are you running a cleaning business on the side, or what are you doing on the side?
So I have a full-time job. I started the cleaning company about 3 years ago, but I
amazing.
started a business partner. It was a little bit of a different dynamic. It was like a side gig for the both of us. She stepped away in February, and in February I found you.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Katie told me
A
you and
big
Katie had a
reset.
one-on-one, correct?
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah,
You and Katie had a one-on-one. Yeah, okay.
we
Tell me
did.
about
Yeah.
that. Amazing. And you like doubled the business in the last like month or two, right? Or something like that, crazy?
Yeah, we've grown like 35 to 45% every month since February.
Good.
Yeah.
Great
So
fucking job.
trying to get rid of
Amazing.
the golden handcuffs and make this my primary thing, but it's all in good time, right? So
Dude, that's amazing. Yeah, keep the momentum going, and when you continue to see the vision of it, of where you can go, it's like money is a factor, but it's not the factor. It's what we just talked about. It's you being able to raise your kids and have them come in on a Zoom meeting, like have that vision and be that one of your goals. You'd be surprised that like those little things are like some of the things that I've seen other people doing, like those are more things I strive for rather than dollars and things. And like those moments, it's like that got me going. So it's awesome.
thank you so much.
Thanks for asking the question. Amazing question. All right, Adam, well, we have some good questions on here. Thank you guys for being on here. We'll answer Adam's question here in a second, but I know we're not getting into the chat. Hopefully, if you guys do have questions, raise your hand. Our kids, speaking of our kids, hopefully they put themselves to bed. Maybe they'll come down here. Who knows? They're
Lainey
doing
just
something.
buzzed down here.
Lainey just came down?
Yeah, she poked in for a second.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Adam, what's going on, my friend?
Logan, how are you, my friend?
Doing good, dude.
Good. I want to congratulate you guys on your success and all that cool stuff. I've been seeing your name pop up a lot lately, so congratulations to you on all that.
Awesome.
Basically, I don't want to take a lot of time. Just want to give you guys a rundown on where I'm at right now, where I came from, all that kind of stuff.
Go for it.
Cool. So yeah, I started a business back then with a friend of mine, cameras and alarms, tanked that out of immaturity. Went through a few things, blue collar life, this and that, and just decided to take the leap a few months ago. I've always kind of wanted to do an entrepreneurial venture, and this is where I'm at right now. I started my company about 5 to 6 months ago, and I just haven't had the results that I expected that I would. Hearing all your guys' numbers and stuff like that, I'm not even there with any of that. I went really intense with discount cleanings for friends and families to try to acquire a lot of reviews on Google. I've had some cleanings, I have 9 recurrent customers. They're not, I'm not charging them as much as I should. But basically I'm kind of at a point now where my incoming jobs, like leads are fluctuating like crazy. I had a week where I was super high on leads and I was like, well, I just can't even do this by myself. And so I hired somebody. And what you guys were talking about earlier, that's the point where I'm at now. I've hired this girl. She's awesome. She's coming from a place where, I've really just sold her on the dream and the vision of this, which,
it's awesome.
I believe in, man. Yeah,
it's good.
I believe in this, I've got 4 kids. I've got a wife.
Awesome.
I just want to make it with this thing. I think the biggest thing I want to know is, at the point where I'm at now, I'm only, you know, I think for this month I'll do 4.5 to 5,000 in revenue. That's the biggest month I've had.
Awesome. Dude.
So, it's been dead though, man. The month before this, under 1,000. It's been all money out, nothing in. It's just very scary. So, however, I can
Yeah.
stabilize my incoming leads with where I'm at right now, just so I can feed this new employee, feed myself, start bringing. I'm not even particularly concerned with bringing money into my personal household for a while. I get it, but it'd be nice to you know, be showing something to my wife and not be looking like a chump.
So I think, were you on here in the beginning when I was sharing my backstory with you?
No, I got on here a little late actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's tell it again. I think it's fun again. Whether people heard it on the first, I think it's important to hear it again. But when I started my first business, so this is your first business that you started, right? On your own. My first business, it took me 3.5 years before I had any momentum. 3 years. The most I made was $5,000 a month. Like that was that was peak months. Like most of the months I was making 3, 4, 5, you know, $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000 a month. It took me 3 years. So just to put perspective in it, like, yes, there's people like Nicole and there's people in here who have had quick success, and those are more the anomalies rather than the normal, right? Like there's lots of skill sets that are involved. There's lots of things that have to go right in order for a business to grow, right? So like first off, like you're not crazy, you're not weird, you don't suck, you're just inexperienced. Like you've been in business for 5 months. So first off, it's okay, right? Second piece. I haven't seen her name before. So have you got into the masterclass? Or have you are you in the masterclass? That's my first question.
So here's, and like I said, I've recently just I just started hearing your name about a week ago. Previous to that, I actually
Perfect.
But what I have done is I actually bought into a mentorship through, I'd probably say, as a competitor of yours.
Well,
but
if you paid money for it, you're not competing, because all my shit is free. So
okay.
And I assure you, all my free shit is better than people's paid shit, because I paid for their shit. And
Yeah.
all the stuff that I have in there is free. So that's the first thing, is go into that masterclass. Well, someone dropped, yeah, thank you, James. James is still on here. Thank you, James. James is stuff. This is why James, I love James. So Adam, if you're on, let's say you're on your phone, like grab that link, make sure that you sign for the masterclass. It's free. It will continue to be free forever. Hopefully continue to add to it. And inside there, like the people in here who've heard that have had success, like they've gone to the masterclass, right? And I'm sure there's people in here that have gone to the masterclass that haven't had, you know, the $13,000 in 5 months success. But I promise you, like there is value in there that it will change your position right now. It'll at least change your mindset, right? If you take action on the things, then it will change your position in your business.
Okay.
And if the things still don't make sense, the next thing I want you to do is, James, will you drop the Facebook group link in there as well? So
I'm part of the faith. I'm part of the faith group. Yeah.
the building $1 million.
Yeah, you got
group?
the muscle arm, right? Yeah, yeah, you got a bigger one than I do, buddy.
That's how you know. So when you have problems, you have struggles, you ask the questions in there. Again, whether I answer them, or you have Jessica, or you have Autumn in there, or Katie, or Renee, or Lucas, or Brian in there, or Nick White, like Nicole. Hopefully, I don't see Nicole as active in there, but she's hustling right now. Those guys will answer your questions, and you'll get the support that you need, because you obviously want it. You wouldn't be on here if you weren't. But I think a lot of what you need in your business right now is inside. I know there's things inside that masterclass that will help you grow your business today. You just need to find time to go through it. And then the second piece is actually have the courage to take action on it, right? And ask questions. Like use the Facebook group as a way to ask questions as well.
Okay.
Right? Because I can tell you're frustrated, but to me, it sounds like it's more of like you're disappointed in yourself rather than you have a specific question. It's like you just don't even know where to start. And so I think when you understand a framework that you can build off of, whether it be maybe you need to start tracking better data so we know like how many claims you're doing, like what is your average revenue, how much money are you spending every single week, how many leads you're getting, how many sales you're getting, like these are actually questions I can help you with. But right now you probably don't have that data information, but if you had the data, you could post into the Facebook group and we could easily solve your problems. Right.
Yeah,
So
I'm not so good and I know that I'm not so good with data tracking. I actually just and I took down, I think her name was Jen's number. She's your bookkeeper. I actually hired a bookkeeper.
she's not our bookkeeper. She's a friend. She's an amazing human. She's my friend, and she just happens to be an amazing bookkeeper. But she's our friend. Amazing.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I actually just hired a guy to help me clean up my QuickBooks and kind of delve into my numbers with me. But I think because of his, he's not experienced within the maid service industry and stuff like that. He's not familiar with the margins and stuff, and he can't really communicate to me on a level that maybe she could. So I do have her number. I'm going to contact her as well.
I'll tell you this: like that is not their job. Like that's not their job to be able to do that. Your job is to be able to like track your data and to be able to see what the problems are in your business. And there's literally a whole masterclass on data. And I don't know if you were on here when I was talking about like how we were able to triple our business. It was doing one meeting and was based on one data sheet. And that's how we grew the business, is all based on data. So
you click the link, and I will be listening. I'll be listening to all this stuff.
It's awesome.
You know.
And then again, inside the masterclass, there's like a whole section on data where you get access to the sheet that I'm talking about. There's also the intelligence sheet in there as well. And while you said that you're not good at tracking data, it's because you don't understand how important it is, or you don't understand really how to do it. And so inside there, I show you how to do it, why you should do it. And if you do it, here's potentially the outcome that could come with it. And
I totally understand how important it is. I don't understand how to do it.
Yeah. And that's and most people don't. And so that's why there's a masterclass on exactly how to do it. And you get to like use my sheets as a framework to start from. Like literally, it's just like as much as I can give to you without actually like running your business, like that's what's inside the masterclass. And how much does it cost? Can everybody put in the chat how much it costs?
Zero.
Everything's free, dude. So
Wow.
it's all free. It's all free.
Wow.
So but thank you for being in here. This is why I do this, is because like I need more Adams in here who want help. They need help. And like obviously like you are paying for mentorships, which is great, but there's other people in here like are not ready for that step. Like there's a step. I was once in that place where I wasn't ready for that, and I wish, like, I created this because I wish I would have had this when I first started. Full transparency, that's why I did it. Right. Wish that I had an opportunity that I could just like learn information, and then when I was ready, by golly, I would be willing to put the money down for the next level. Right. And so like that's what this is for, is like give you the opportunity to grow your business, get yourself in a situation. And if you ever want to come hang out with me, then you can, because you have that choice. Like right now, it's not even a choice.
Right.
Like you can't afford me, so like let's go make you some money, and then you at least get a choice, whether you want to or not, whatever. Like that's the choice that you get, right? And that's pretty fun. So.
Right. Well, thank you, Logan. Yeah, I will delve completely into the masterclass. Yeah, there's nothing more important right now than, I mean, this is, I need this to happen. So, all right.
Make it happen. Be active in the group. Ask questions. Promise you will get support if you are brave, like you are tonight, and just ask for help. You're vulnerable, and everyone in here who has asked questions, and even the guys who haven't, like maybe you're not ready yet, but like you'd be surprised at how much life gives to you when you just ask for help. You're just vulnerable, and you're just like, here's where I'm at. So thank you, Adam, because there's other people on here who are feeling very similar. You just gave them permission to ask for help, whether it be tonight, whether it be in the future. Like you just gave somebody the courage that like they can ask for help as well. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, guys. Did we get through all the questions? Kitty,
all of the hand raised questions.
all the hand
Yes.
raised. Is there other questions that are in the chat?
There's so many in here. I can't even keep track.
All right. Well, let's do it for 5 minutes. We've been on here for an hour later than we normally planned. The kids are hopefully surviving upstairs. How? I have no idea. Shocking. Great kids. But if you guys have any other questions, like let's do one more hand raise, or if you guys are good, then we're gonna do this again next week. So that's the plan. We have one more week up until the ZenMade Summit. So if you guys haven't registered for the summit as well, go ahead and register for that. It's 100% for free as well. You can watch me do a sales presentation. You can watch Katie do a presentation on recruiting, building a culture of competitive greatness. So valuable. A lot of the questions I hear have been about staffing employees, and like full transparency, it's a volume game. It's just a volume game. And Katie explains how to sell yourself on the volume game. But the only reason that we were able to triple our business is because we tripled our cleaners, and we just figured out how to make it all happen. Managing people. So yeah, masterclass, Facebook group, ZenMade Summit. If you guys got any value from this, show Katie and I some love by going and like watching our presentation. It's July 24th to the 28th. Once I know a little bit more exactly how to access our presentation, I'll tell you more about that. But in the meantime, like, go sign up for it. It's 100% free. Okay, one more question, Renee. What's up, Renee? Yeah.
Hey guys, I just wanted to thank Katie. You had to bounce, but Katie helped me last week.
Yeah, I heard.
And so I just wanted to, hey Ryan, hey Autumn, love you guys. I just wanted to thank Katie because really the monkey mind had taken over my brain, and she helped me like look at the data, Renee. How many recleans, how many this? And I was like, oh my God, that dang monkey, I forgot to tell it to eat a banana in the corner. So I wanted to just thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Because that was super ridiculously helpful.
You're
And I
very
don't know
welcome.
what spun me out, but somebody did. So I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. It happens. It happens to the best of us. It's part of
being human. Thank God you're a human, not a monkey.
Right.
Yeah.
But so that's all I wanted to say at the end. Just thank you very
Cool.
much.
Thank you, Renee.
Thank you, and thanks for staying up late. Thanks for staying up
Yeah.
late. You and
Oh, yeah.
Jessica and all you guys on the East Coast. Like, you guys are crazy.
Maybe they are monkeys.
Yeah, you guys are nutty.
This
Awesome.
was important. You do what's important.
Cool. Yeah, if you guys haven't, make sure you give some love to Katie. Seriously, like, I can't give her enough love. You guys feel free to give her some love as well. And just appreciate you, Katie, for being on here. Appreciate you for doing this with me. This is how we like date. This is like, I told Katie, like, if I could have dates every single night, it'd be Q&As with people, or like going and doing decade in the days, or just like doing business together. Like, to me, that is like what makes our relationship stronger, what makes it fun. And so thank you guys for being on here, because it literally would not be as much fun without you. And it's way more fun, and it's fun for us to share these things. And so as much as like you guys get value from this, like we get as much, if not more, value. So it's very selfish that we do these. Like we do these for us, and you guys happen to be in here. And as long as it works for you, it works for us. So thank you guys. Really do appreciate you guys. Look out for, if you guys want access to the recording, look in you guys' emails. There'll be a link going out for the recording, but we're going to do one of these next week. So if you guys didn't get your question answered today, or you guys you didn't feel like it was your time or your place, or maybe you're working up the courage, like I'll put out the email to let you guys know when the next Q&A is. But we're going to do at least one more next week before the summit. That's what we said we are going to do. So we'll follow through on that. But again, that's all I got. Katie, you got any final words?
No, appreciate you all. You all make it worth it when we have monkey brains.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, and Renee, even right there, like, thank you for sharing that, because Adam Felser right there, he's like, yes, I feel that way too. And I'm sure that people were like, yes, thank you for sharing that. And Renee is a stud, by the way. Like, she's a silent killer. Her business is like, does really well. So anyway, happy Wednesday to you guys, and we'll see you guys next week, or we'll see in the Facebook group. That's where we'll see. We'll see in the Facebook group. So
Bye.
bye guys.